Good morning, my beautiful, hardworking, committed students. Coming to you today on this beautiful, beautiful, rainy McAllen spring morning here. So just dropped my car off to get some work done on it, and taking my doggy for a little walkie here. Whew. I just wanted to say just a little bit about written responses, some of which I'm receiving. And I think it's coming from a good place. You guys are trying to work really hard. You're trying to get these things done. Oh, thank you so much. Who is that? I can't. Oh, Natasha. Thanks, Natasha. Yeah, he is a very cute dog. He's a fun dog too. Mr. Hans is his name. Just Hans. He doesn't go by Mr. Anyway, yeah, the written responses are sometimes kind of brief. Incomplete sentences, one-word answers. Not answers, responses. These are never answers. There are no answers to these questions in many ways. So yeah, think of them as responses. So I think, especially since a due date is coming up, students are rushing through it, thinking they are saving time, when in fact they are not. It does seem like, hey, if I take the time to write a thorough description followed by bringing in relevant examples from the text. So for like the book that we were reading, this is going to, for my History 1301 students, Incidents of the Life of a Slave Girl. Yeah, you're going through there and you're not including those examples, right? To demonstrate how your response is fortified by providing that example. Real important to do that, right? So the student is thinking, I'm saving time. I got a lot to do, getting through that. But think of it practically speaking, right? You've got a whole bunch of assignments in Unit 1, which you don't have to do all of them, right? You do have to do all of them if you choose to provide brief responses to the video quizzes, to the documentaries, to the audiobooks, and to the lecture exams. If you are writing brief responses and getting lower grades than you would if you provided thorough responses, you're going to end up having to do more assignments than you would have to do, right? Remember, as long as you get the 60% or higher, right? So if you do, let's say, 75% of the available assignments, not talking about the available points, but just the available assignments, and you're getting 80s or 90s on each of your assignments, well, yeah, you're probably only going to have to do 70, 75%, at most 80% of the assignments, right? Whereas if you're consistently getting low scores, yeah, obviously you're going to have to do more assignments, and therefore you're going to be spending more time completing these assignments that you don't necessarily have to do, right? So take the time to save time, right? Let's make that a t-shirt. Take the time to save time, right? I'm going to copyright that, so don't make your t-shirts, because I'm going to make millions on that, okay? I've got it recorded, so it's documented. That'll be legit in court if you do that, right? Take the time to save time, right? And that will save you time. So you guys are very busy people, right? You're in school. Many of you are working. Some of you have families, right? So you don't have that much time. So don't waste time by providing brief responses without examples, right? So you want to, if you're responding to Incidents of the Life of the Slave Girl, and you're talking about some question that's relating to, give me examples of the cruelties that slave owners did to slaves, right? There are so many examples in every single chapter, right? Bring those examples in. If you recall an earlier incident from a different chapter, that you're not responding to, you could bring that in as well, right? If you're responding to an audiobook, right, there are plenty of examples, right? So if it's talking about a battle, mention that battle. What happened during that battle? What was the results of that battle, right? You should be striving to provide too necessary background. So the question might not be asking something about the battle, you know, if that's relative, but to give your response richer context. Yeah, bring in some background information to explain why it was uh, in the interest of colonists to defeat the Pequots, right? Or, you know, that kind of a thing. So keep that in mind. Bring in individuals, right? Do not write down things like Native Americans. Which Native Americans are you talking about, right? That's really important, right? Which Europeans are you talking about? That's really important that you identify. You're talking about the English, the Spanish, are you talking about the Pequots, the Cherokee, Lakota, right? So bring all of that in, right? Be sure to write in complete sentences, even if it says something like, what island did Bartoloma de las Casas land on, right? Hispaniola, right? Right. If you write that, you're probably going to get an 80%, right? What that's going to mean is you're going to have to do another probably video quiz that you didn't really have to do, right? And you might be a student saying, no, I want to do all the assignments so I get a really high grade. That's awesome, right? I like that attitude. But you can move on to the next unit when the unit becomes available to you. And then later in the semester, you can go back and you can go back and complete those units. Oops, I'm at TrueFit. I'm walking by TrueFit. So some groovy music. All right. Okay, I think that's probably enough. So you got any questions? Is there anything you'd like to add to it? Need some clarification? Share your experience with any of this? If you're still there, yeah. Oops, you're chatting. Your dog is cute. No, so Giovanni's there. Okay, hey, cool. Nice to see you out there, Giovanni. Cool. Oh, Natasha's about to say something here. Make sure I don't get hit by a car. Looking over my shoulder. Whoop, it's starting to come down, the rain. Uh-oh. I might get more wet today. But I got this nice raincoat from my beloved wife for Valentine's Day. And all I got her were tulips in a pot. She loved it though, so I guess that's all that counts. All right. Oops, it looks like Giovanni is now gonna come. Okay. Do you have any time on how to expand your right? If you're stuck on something or have more notes to go, yeah, just rewatch the video, right? Really key in on what I'm saying here, right? You want to provide, so a good response is going to, I don't have a question in front of me, but a typical question might say, explain or provide examples of the cruelties, especially if you see a question that says explain examples. You should always provide examples, even if it doesn't say explain examples. But what you want to do is start your response off with a description. Slave owners did things like whip them, put them, suspend, I'm sorry, this is terrible stuff, but suspend them, with chains on their wrists and lift them up so their feet weren't touching the ground, put them in cotton gins, right? These awful, awful things. And then, so you're just describing it, and then follow up with a description, right? They put, I don't have it, my notes in front of me or the book, but identify the person that was suspended by his wrists with his feet dangling up in the air, right? Identify that person, right? Why was he up there? You can explain that. What did Harriet Jacobs think about it, right? And quote her, and then follow up in your own words, how this example that you're providing fits into your response and further enriches your response, right? So you want to kind of come into it with an attitude, right? So if you do get a low grade and you have a solid paragraph with a description, examples, your own words to explain those examples, then you get a low grade, then you come talk to me and you go, hey, dude, what's up, man? Right? I did what you said. You know, I'm learning and I got a 60 out of 100. What's up with that? And what I will say is, I made a mistake, right? Probably something like that, right? Which is possible, right? You know, I'm grading quite a bit and it's very possible I make a mistake. So don't hesitate to challenge me if you really do know that you're worked, you did everything that you've been told to do with the writing guidelines and what I'm talking about here. So yeah, you can always challenge me, even if, you know, and if your response warrants a lower grade, then, you know, I'll just point out and that'll be a learning experience. Yeah, this is the things that you need to do if you're expecting a higher grade, all the things I just talked about, right? It's the thought that counts. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's always the thought that counts. And really what I'm getting at here is grades are a spectrum. So yeah, it's the thought that counts. Absolutely. But, you know, so it's a spectrum. So students that are earning lower, you know, 60, 70 percentiles, well, that's just reflective of, that's a symbol, right? Grok that, man. If you can understand that, a lot of the inherent anxiety that comes with school, if you understand that grades are a symbol of effort and energy, then you can, we're busted. Okay, I'm gonna run in the bushes.
Sorry.
Jeez, that's okay. All right, so yeah, that's the kind of thing you want to think about. Is that Natasha talking to me? Hello, who's that? Somebody have something they wanted to say? Live on air on this rainy McAllen day? No, okay. All right, if there's no other questions, yeah, I'm not seeing any chat coming in, so I'll leave it at that. I might come back at you guys later. I got some thoughts on the lecture exams. Be sure to read that document I sent out, how to prepare and complete a lecture exam. Really read that document. I might come back later and talk about that. Okay. Oh, I think that's Anna. Hey, Anna, how are you? I'll get back to you. I noticed, I saw that you sent me a message, so I'll get back to you later, unless you want to chat here. All right. Okay, I'm gonna take off unless there's somebody about to come in. Other than that, you guys have a great day. You can say goodbye to Hans. Bye, Hansies. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye, Hansies. Okay, you guys have a great day. I'll see you on Monday.